Okay, Jerome, welcome, man. Thanks for coming on
Thanks for
to
having
the CIP
me,
podcast, mate. Yeah, it's good to have you on, and I think for anyone listening, they might have seen you on Channel 4's SAS Who Dares Wins, the latest series of that. But really, why you're here is because you're a transformational life story of how you've come from growing up in Tottenham, difficult upbringing, ending up in prison, but now you've turned it all around. So why don't you just take us back? You know, obviously Tottenham is a rough place to grow up now, a lot rougher than it was back in the day.
It's not your average neighbourhood, man. It's just like you got kids that's got points to prove, then you got the poverty side of it as well. You got I think the frustration of the whole town is just what makes certain people go into certain situations. Not knowing what you want to do can lead you into situations if you haven't got a plan or strong willpower, you'll be left vulnerable in an area like that, and then that area will basically dictate your future for you. You know what I mean? So yeah, Tottenham, Edmonton, rough areas. Yeah.
What was family life like? Was your mum and dad married, or? Yeah,
so my mum so I don't know my dad.
Okay.
He left whatever, I think, I can't even tell you a story on him. I think he got deported or whatever. He was used to ring and send boxes of clothes and whatnot over, but I never really knew him. Then my stepdad came in my life when I was about 5, and that's my dad.
Okay, got it.
You couldn't tell me any different. Just because we're not blood, that's my dad. He raised me.
He raised you, yeah. So credit to him. Yeah. But, so, in a lot of ways, was it? You grew up in a community where there's, a lot of the young men have absent fathers. Do you feel like you drifted towards sort of older males in the community as them sort of role models?
Not really, because my dad was a good role model. He could cook, he's the handyman, he's everything. He's a good role model, if I'm honest. I think probably what gravitated me is just not knowing what I was good at or what I wanted to do, peer pressure, what's expected at a certain age, things like that. So I personally wouldn't say my family upbringing had anything to do with the decisions I made.
Right,
I think it was just the environment,
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, because people, go on, sorry.
Yeah, so it's like the peer pressure of being in a community where a lot of people are taking a certain road in life. That played more of a bigger part for you then. Yeah. That's what I heard. Is that right?
Yeah. Exactly that.
Yeah. So,
because the normal story is no father or no mum.
Yeah.
Dad's on
mum,
drugs.
That's it. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the normal story. We make someone hit the rails and do what they're doing. But with me, it was just the peer pressure of having to live up to a certain standards in the area, because the area is rough, so you couldn't take any disrespect, or you couldn't have no money, or you couldn't be weak and stuff like that. So yeah, I get it. It's you sort of, it's survival, isn't it? Yeah, basically.
You got to survive, and often we take the same road that everyone else is taking around us. We don't want to be the odd one out going and getting a job. Exactly. And getting a job is often very difficult in them communities as well.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying, my story is so weird. It's you can't understand. I did have a job, but my job was to not let my mum know what I was involved in. So when the family or friends ask, so how's Jerome, what's he doing? My mum's like, he's working, he does removals, he's doing his thing, and then that's it.
Right.
So her mind was on the fact that I had a job. She had nothing, didn't know anything until...
Okay.
Yeah.
So how was you making your money then, back then?
Robberies, selling weed, robbing, what do they call them? Brothels. That was how I was making money,
Yeah. Is that what led up to the first to your time in prison? Because you spent time in Aylesbury, didn't you?
Yeah.
A lot of people might recognise Aylesbury from the Channel 4 documentary, The Choir, that was on recently.
Yeah. I was that documentary. I was in that time.
Oh, was you? Really?
Yeah. I was in side at that time when that documentary was filmed. Yeah,
because that wasn't that long ago. Yeah. Wow. Incredible. So what led up to that then? Was it all the robberies sort of caught up with you and?
Nah, that didn't even sounds peak, but I was good at what I was doing, kind of thing. So that didn't. It was the beef I had with another part of the area.
Okay, like a rival gang or something.
Yeah. Well, like you could say gang, but I wasn't never in a gang. Because we didn't have no name. There wasn't no bandanas or anything. It was just a group of friends from school that grew up with each other.
From one area against another area. I get it. Yeah.
Basically,
Yeah, it's the same as us.
Yeah. So a situation happened with my friend, actually. Yeah, it was his situation. And obviously, that being your friend, you want to defend your friend. And someone had given, after that night, because nothing happened that night, I think someone tried to beat up my friend. Then we went out to retaliate. Didn't find the other people, I think. But because of that night, I was moving erratic. I was moving kind of, like I had the gun. I didn't know, I wasn't going to use it, because at that time, you show someone you have that, more than likely they're going to run away. There's no need to. And I always knew things like that. So after that, we didn't find them. And then I think Intel got, because it was late, I went back to my house, didn't hide it. Intel got out that I've got something, and then police was at my front door.
Right, okay. So that's where it was the possession of firearms.
Yeah.
Wow, blimey. How old was you then when that happened?
19.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
What happened then? Did you obviously, you can't plead not guilty when you're found with possession of it, right?
Yeah, so when I went back home that night, I must have put it in like a JD bag or something, with the plans to get rid of it, not get rid of it, but hide it the next day. But my friend called me, not the one that got in trouble, another friend. He was like, "Oh, let's go CAF." So we've gone CAF. CAF's not open. We're walking back to my house, and then a bunch of people just came out the car. It was undercover police out of X5, but we had just done a robbery for the brothel.
Right, okay.
So I thought it was like people getting their own back.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
okay.
so I'm like, do you know what I'm saying? But I was thinking, nah, they're saying get down on your knees and stuff like that. So I'm like, nah, this is the police. And then the police has gun bucked me, put me on the floor, whatever, knowing that we're not causing any aggro, like we're just complying at this time. So they've gotten me up and they was like, have you got any big amount of cash? I was like, nah. So have you got any big amount of drugs? I'm like, no, what are you lot talking about? She's like, have you got guns in your house? And I paused, and I was thinking to myself, where it is, because at this time they're at my house already.
Okay.
Yeah, they're at my house already. So I'm thinking, where it is, I can't lie.
Yeah.
I can't say no, I haven't, because they're gonna go to my house and they're gonna find it. My friends have already been in prison before, so when they come out and you're chilling with your friends, you get a gist of the story and how the court system works and stuff like that. So I'm thinking to myself, if I admit this, more than likely, because of my age as well, I won't get a big amount of time.
Yeah, long sentence.
Yeah, and I'm thinking like this already because loads of my other friends have been in jail loads of times, and they're always talking stories and stuff like that and how the courts work and stuff like that. So I was like, yeah, I have a firearm in my house. And then they took me to my house, gone upstairs, and then as I was about to point out where it was, they had already been in the bag and took it out and showed me.
Right, okay.
And I was like, oh, what are you doing with this and whatnot? And I just kept quiet and then just...
Was your mum at home?
Yeah, my mum was at home, dad was at home, my niece was at home, my twin sisters at home at the time. I think my twin sisters were at home as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's often, I know it was for me, some of the most difficult moments when it's like in front of all the family, all your siblings and that. It's like a real shit, I've really let the team down.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what happened after that then? So obviously you're found in possession, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so I'm going straight to...
You're going guilty all the way now.
All the way.
Yeah.
So I'm going, so I'm in this car, I'm going straight to Edmonton Green Police Station. And then the officer's like, listen, we know something's going on. Like, just tell us where you got it from and who supplies. I'm asking me loads of questions, but I'm just being quiet. I'm just saying, listen, just take me to the station and just let me get this whole prison thing rolling, like, you know what I'm saying? Then I got to the station, asking me questions. I'm just doing no comment. Obviously, they've caught it on me, so it's straight to prison the next day. Did I go the next day? No, I didn't go the next day. I think I stayed in the police station for a couple of days. Then I went court. Yeah, everything was quick. So yeah, police station, a couple of days. Then I went court. Then went jail. Come back, and then they was gonna sentence me. I went to Feltham for 2.5, 3 months or something like that. Then I went back to court for the sentencing, and then they sentenced me, and then went straight to Aylesbury.
Aylesbury, right. How long did you get?
5 years, do 2.5. So basically, for some reason, I didn't get a pre-sentence report. For some reason, like they didn't do a pre-sentence, like to know my character, who I am and stuff like that. I don't know why I didn't get a pre-sentence report. And then the judge was like, we know nothing about him. Like, we don't know if he's a good guy, we don't know if he's a violent guy, we don't know nothing. So just based on the crime, we're gonna give him his minimum and his age, 5 years for the possession of firearms, 3 years for the ammunition, run concurrent.
Right, okay. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So you were 19?
Yeah.
19 at the time, sentenced to 5 years in Aylesbury. What was it like? What was Aylesbury like? I mean, we've seen on TV, Aylesbury's
a lot of people with issues.
Pretty rough, right? I mean, back then, that was, God, we're looking, almost 10 years ago. What was it like when you arrived there?
So I was like, I need to adjust now because I'm going to be here for a little while, so I need to adjust. But what I'm saying is, when my friends have gone to prison and they've come out, it's like, when they explain it and detail everything, it's like you've experienced it as well. Yeah. So when you go there, it's not too much of a shock for me because the way how my friends have explained how it is, how the govs are, how the cells are, how the dinner thing runs, how the canteen runs. Like, so I've got a bit of knowledge on how the prison is. It's just how I cope with it at the time. So I've gone there. Same attitude as how I was on the outside. I can't show anyone I'm weak. Yeah, I'm not weak. You know what I'm saying? So when first chance I get, I'm beating someone up. Like, just so my name rings bells enough so people know to leave me alone. Yeah. So I've got there. They've given you your beginners or introduction pack, your smokers pack, your booklet and whatever, toothbrush or whatever. And then, did I go in a single cell first? Yeah, I've gone in a single cell first, and I was just sat there and was thinking, wow.
This is it.
Yesterday I was having a drink with my friends, like, I was talking to a girl yesterday, like, how am I in here, like, what have I done? What's my mum thinking? What's my nan thinking? What's my aunties thinking? My uncles? Like, all of this is playing on my mind. And I just went straight to sleep.
Yeah. When you had this thing of wanting to stamp your authority on the wing so people wouldn't mess with you.
Yeah.
Did that opportunity come?
Yeah. So after I've gone to sleep, I think it was association, and I've come out, and I've said, I'm going to play pool. Just trying to distract what I'm thinking, and like, I was thinking, my mind's doing too much. I need to distract myself, like. So I'm playing pool with someone, and a disagreement with the rules happened on the table. So he was saying something about you can have 2 shots on the black ball or something like that. And I was like, no, you can't have 2 shots on the black ball, whatever. And he's picked up the ball and said, well, no one's playing then, like on a bully thing.
Yeah, I've seen that.
So I was thinking, okay. And I didn't even argue anymore. I just turned the cue upside down and just whacked him across his face. And then obviously the govs come. In prison, you probably get about 10 seconds, 5 seconds to have a fight before all the govs come and swarm you. And then the govs come, and then after that, I think, did I get adjudication or something like that? What happened? I was just saying, listen, I felt like I was being bullied at the time. I just handled how I thought I should have handled it at the time. And then I think the judges knew of his previous of being a bully to certain people. So I think I got off with that. Don't know how, but got off with that. And then obviously the name's circling now. Right, who's just come on the wing and creating, I don't think they've heard a bell for a while. So it's like, who's that coming on the wing making noise like that? And then obviously my name. But obviously there's some people as well that I know from the area that's in there as well. So that helped, knowing that I got people that will defend me because I'm from the same area as them. But yeah, after that situation, I never got troubled.
That was it. The rest of your stint was pretty smooth sailing. Yeah,
there was more issues, but yeah, in terms of that situation, yeah.
Was there any at all like rehabilitation in any way whilst you were locked up at Aylesbury?
What like courses that they had?
Yeah, just like obviously I know there is different types of fitness education stuff, but in terms of like really rehabilitating you and helping you make
there was courses and stuff, but in my mind I didn't feel like I needed to change my way, but I'm not that way inclined naturally. So I didn't feel like I needed anger management or I can't remember the courses names, man. I can't remember the names of the courses. I didn't think, all I needed to do was change what I felt I needed to do was change my mindset, separate myself from the friends that I had, get on as much courses, gain as much qualifications, like build my character as much as I can, and then come out and deal with the world. Yeah.
Did you do your qualification to become a PT whilst inside? No. You done it when you came out?
When I came out, yeah.
So, am I right in thinking that like fitness played a part of your, time in prison? Was that a sort of pastime? Just fitness, fitness in general, maybe fitness in your cell or like, getting out.
As much as it might sound calculated, I kind of planned out my whole sentence. So basically, I said, first year, every course or anything they have to offer where I can get certificate or qualification, I'm gonna do. Second year, I'm gonna start the gym stuff for myself, build myself up, start the fitness stuff. And then the other half of the year, I'm going to just get ready for the outside world.
Right, okay.
Read as much books as I can and stuff, like just try and get into a routine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's basically what I done whilst I was in there.
Yeah, prepare yourself. Was there any book that you read in particular that really sort of you found helpful or profound?
No, not reading. I just was reading because I wasn't reading outside. So I was thinking like, you need to train your mind. If you're going to change your mind, train your mind. So I started reading a lot of books and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's a good message in itself, because I know a lot of inmates that I speak to when I go in and do these workshops who are doing long sentences, you know, get drawn into just getting into trouble or smoking spice, or, you know, because they're like, well, what else can I do? I've got a 20-year sentence. And it's like, well, you can keep fit, you can read, you can educate your mind, you know. So you come out, at what point do you decide, okay, this is the road I want to go down? I want to become a PT, because that's what your business is now. You're a professional personal trainer. What was the journey like getting to that, which is basically living a legit way of life? And what obstacles did you come at along the way? Because, you know, at some point, I imagine going legit, when there's a lot of people around you who are not legit, it must have been a bit of a stretch at times.
Yeah. So basically, it was like, I've got a criminal record now. Anyone asks me, have I been jail, I have to tell them, basically. If it's on a CV, I've got to basically tell them. So I'm thinking, what jobs make sense, like that they won't judge me before they know me, basically, or what I can do, or what attributes I have. So I was thinking, with PT, it's like a self-employment, basically. So I'm thinking, all I need to do is do a course, show that I'm good at what I do, promote myself, and 9 times out of 10, some of your clients will ask, so just want to know about you, but not necessarily know your deep down history. So I wouldn't need to share it with anybody. Do you know what I mean? So I was thinking, that career seems like a career that I can actually do without being judged, only judged on my work. And can make a success out of. So
Was there at any point, because obviously start any new business, money doesn't come straight away. It takes graft, it takes effort. Was there any moment in it where you were sort of looking at maybe people in your community who were getting money you know, the easy way, the wrong way?
Well, basically, when I was in prison, I got into poker, and I made I think the last couple, like a month before I was coming out, I made like $3,000.
Nice.
Yeah, so after that I came out, I already had money, and then obviously I had still got a big family that support me and stuff like that, so they gave me some money as well, and then I put my money into the courses and stuff like that, and then that was it. Great, so I didn't need to go on the roads or anything like that. Because I already had my own money from what I made in prison. So there was no temptation there.
It sounds like, from what I'm hearing, like your family, when you got out, played a role, a big role in that as well, like in really supporting you in making these positive life changes. Was there anyone in particular in your family who really sort of?
Everyone, my mum, my auntie, my grandma, my uncle Paul, my cousin, the homie, my sisters, everyone. If anything I want, how can I explain it? I think I'm the favourite in the family. So anything I wanted or I needed, they would help me with it.
Where do you fall in the age category? Are you the youngest?
No, I'm on my mum's side?
Out of all your brothers and sisters?
There's loads of us, but on my mum's, because my mum's got 4, I'm the second oldest.
Cool. But it's interesting to hear that, you know, the family play a massive part in you know, rehabilitation for you. You know, it's an important part of it. So, so where are you at today? I mean, obviously you're a PT. You got a successful business there, and you know, you give back to your community in a lot of ways just by being a role model of someone who's turned their life around. But
so I still do my freelance PT. I was assistant manager in the gym group, but I did find it kind of difficult to do that role and PT at the same time, because when you're under a company, your focus needs to be for that company, how to build that company. And it was kind of stressing me out because whilst I'm building this company, I'm not building my brand. I'm not building North London Power Fitness. So that was a bit stressing me. And then I left that job and then just said, I'm just going to put all my eggs in this basket and just push my North London Power PT. Yeah.
So your business is basically, because North London Power, I think of like lifting big heavy weights. Is it just on like powerlifting, or is it you cover all aspects of
so
PT?
no, it's not just powerlifting, it's weight loss, everything. I cover weight loss, boxing, circuit classes, I do all of it. But the North London Power is like, the power is not necessarily like physical, it's the mind as well, the spirit as well. Like, coming from North London Power, I know the struggles of everyone. So you need a powerful thought, or someone to represent like a powerful spirit, a powerful mind, a powerful look. So that's why I named it North London Power. But it's North London Power Fitness, so I cover everything.
That's great, mate. That's great. And I think it's nice that you've sort of gone back to that community and you're giving back in a lot of ways. And sometimes we underestimate how powerful just being someone who's changed and hasn't left the community and gone on to, somewhere else, just staying in their community and showing people, look, I've changed, I'm here, it's possible. Is often a very powerful statement in itself to the young people, to the youngers,
that's what I want to show them, because right now I'm still in the area, so I've been in that area for like 25 years, so I know pretty much everyone, kind of thing, and I'm seeing everyone growing up, and I'm seeing like the youth making the mistakes that I was making, with like not knowing what they wanted to do, getting gassed over like trainers and like these materialistic things, and not really knowing that, bro, these things, you're gonna wear out these trainers soon. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you're selling these drugs and you're not making any money. Like it doesn't make no sense. Like get yourself a legit path, build yourself up, and then you'll be able to leave a legacy and give back to your community.
I think that's a great message to the young people. And I would love to, when this is all over, we'll get you in. I'll take you into some of the prisons that I work with, because I think, it's really important that people hear this message from people who've gone before them. Do you know what I mean? I can't not ask you about SAS Who Dares Wins. There's probably a lot of people listening who'd love to hear about it. So run us through it. Like, what was your reason for applying?
Before we get into that,
go on.
Because I think you said something, but we kind of skipped the coming out and getting back into what I was into. I didn't get back what I was into, but I was in a situation where it was either I said, take this L and continue what you're doing and live to fight another day, or lose your head, do something stupid, and then ruin your life forever. So I think a couple of years after I came out, I was doing like training up for the PT, getting my qualifications and stuff, and I think I was going to watch a football match, and someone was basically trying to rob me for my watch. Basically tried to rob me for my watch, and obviously I was trying to defend myself with my fist, and then I got stabbed. And after I got stabbed, I was thinking, hold on. So after that situation, I called my cousin. I said, bring me a pedal bike, because I've just been stabbed. I said, bring me a pedal bike, and he was like, why? I said, I've just been stabbed. I'm just going to ride to the hospital quickly. So I rode to the hospital. I got stabbed in my arm, my head. I'm like just underneath my heart here.
Bloody hell.
And that gave me even more drive to build my character and push my PT stuff, because I was thinking, look at that, I'm trying to change my life.
Wow.
I get into a situation which could draw me back, but my mind's telling me there's bigger than what it is. You can just leave this and just carry on.
Yeah.
You're gonna get these obstacles, but that is a situation people are going through where, like, even mistaken identity, just a simple what you're looking at can turn someone from when they're making a positive into straight back into that negative that they've been through. So I'm saying, like, to people, really work on that mentality, that willpower, because you're gonna, especially if you're still in the area where things are still going on. Like, Tottenham's still rough. That's like where the London riots was and stuff like that. Like, it's still rough. So you need to have strong willpower.
Yeah, to walk away.
And if you're lucky, get out of there.
yeah. Or like you have, you've stayed. And you haven't allowed that to, draw you back in. Yeah. And I think that is probably the biggest thing that I find when working with young people in prison is that you can inspire a lot of great change when in prison. But what really counts is, okay, when I leave, and something like that happens, like what you spoke about. Okay, when I leave and someone says, what are you looking at? And I get into a fight and I get stabbed, how do I not go and seek revenge for that?
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? And here you are sitting in front of me, a strong man who could have easily gone and took revenge, but you chose not to. You chose to let it be more of a push in the opposite direction, to say that's even more of a reason for me to get further away from this way of life now. Yeah,
straight.
And I think that's, that's a story that needs to be heard, and that's why you're here today, because these are the stories that people need to hear, So, inspirational, mate. Well done. Really good.
It's hard though. I do feel it for people that's changed their way and come out, because you can really get into situations, even if it's not with yourself, even if it's like your friend that's still behaving that lifestyle, and then he gets into something, but you still got loyalties to your friend, you still got that connection, you still want to defend him, but if he's not changing the way how you've changed, like, what do? Do you not help him and then hear all of the abuse that you might get from the rest of the friends, or do you help him and then get back into a situation, because now you're the guy that was with the guy that was, do you know what I mean? So it is difficult.
It is. It's a difficult situation to be in that isn't spoken about enough. I mean, I speak about this stuff a lot when I go into the prisons, but when we speak about it, the inmates are like, it's so good to talk about this, because, like, this is what happens when we leave here. This is what's going to happen.
I'm still battling now, if I'm honest. If I'm honest with you, I'm still battling now, but not even in a sense, like, down to tinted cars, slowing down, winding down the window. You know what I'm saying? Like, these things still happen. You know what I'm saying? I might have like a late night client, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock. I'm coming back, walking through Tottenham or whatever. You might get a group of guys in a car, mistaken identity. Like, these things are still out there that can try and reverse what I'm doing. But it's just the willpower and just seeing the bigger picture. And my picture's so big that none of them things faze me anymore.
Mate, it's powerful. It's powerful stuff. So I mean, it's so important stories like this get heard, and this is why I set this podcast up. Is to because these are like the little golden nuggets that just get lost in communities. And I believe it's that elder knowledge, the men who've gone before us, passing this back down to the younger generations, and saying what you're saying is like using this as a motivation to not go back down and not get back into that way of life. So was that sort of part of your motivation for doing SAS Who Dares Wins, to sort of inspire people that you can have that life, but you can also turn it around?
That wasn't that wasn't my mindset at the time, but as I was going through the course, that became my mindset. Like, listen, like, I've come from where I've come from. I'm on a course where like people train years and stuff and that to try and be a part of that association. But I'm on a course, I'm doing this, like, I've changed my life around. Like, now people can see that you can change. But how I got on the course wasn't how I expected. Yeah.
What happened there? Tell us.
So when I was assistant manager at the gym group, I just left.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, apologies. I was assistant manager at the gym group. I think it was a couple months after I left, actually, or probably like 6 months after I left. The manager there, someone came in and spoke to the manager about SAS, and then she was like, Jerome would do that, Jerome would do something like that. But the way she made it seem, she basically said, there's a course going on, like, do you want to do it?
Okay.
But she made it seem like it was like another course to up my personal training level.
Okay,
so
right.
I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Like, I want like my level 4. I want to do GP referral and stuff like that. Like, and she was like, yeah, I'll put your name down. So I'm thinking I'm gonna do written work.
Okay.
I'm gonna be in a classroom. I'm gonna study. I'm gonna do whatever, and then get a certificate at the end, and then now I've upped my level on personal training. So after it's doing the fitness test, they've come in, done me the fitness test, gone Harley Street, they've put me in all type of wires and stuff like that. But I'm thinking, all of this just for like a level 4. Like, the NHS need to see that you're a fit somebody before they start giving you clients and stuff like that. And then they've messaged me, like, you got a interview, Shepherd's Bush. When I've got there, I'm in a dungeon kind of thing, like, it's spaced out place, dark. And it's like, yeah, this is the interview you're gonna use for Channel 4. So I'm like, what do you mean Channel 4? What do you mean? Like, for SAS? And I was like, okay, here we go, now I get it. So I've realised, like, they put me in the SAS thing. And then I think I got like a week or a few days, about a week to prepare, basically. These times I'm like 108, 109 kg. Like, I'm heavy. I don't really do... I will teach cardio, but me personally don't really like to do cardio. I was on this bodybuilding stuff. So I've had like a week. I couldn't swim at all. So I learned to swim in like 3 days. I did like an intense course. So I need to learn how to swim, or they wasn't going to let me come on the course. And I learned, and then, I got on the course.
3 days to swim, and most of that was in water as well.
So,
Jeez, mate, So, like, what was your experience like? Obviously, we watched it on the telly. I took part last year. I know it's brutal. It's a horrible thing to go through, but, how was it for you?
I think I'd say it was my best and worst experience in my life, because when I'm in the gym, I feel like I train hard. Like, I do a lot of sets. I try to go to fatigue all the time. Try and minimize my I try and really put my body through pressure. Like, but that experience showed me, like, you're far away. You're far away. It was good, man. It was good. I did learn a bit more about myself. Like, I knew I can push more than what I've been pushing in terms of, like, in the gym, in life, basically. Like, I learned how to tap into like another mode, because I always thought I had like a beast mode, but now, like, I feel like I've tapped into like a godly mode now. So I swear,
mode,
So man, it was good. It was a good experience.
Nice one.
Cold experience.
Yeah, mate. It looked the cold water looked pretty tough.
I was a bit upset that they wasn't showing like everything.
Yeah.
But obviously it's an hour episode. You need to cram everything in.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We had the same. There was some of the best moments that just never ever made it to air, and you're like, when we was out there filming it, we thought, in our mind we were like, that's got to be shown, that's got to be shown.
Yeah, straight.
And then it gets to air and like none of it's shown. You're like, and we all asked Minnow Films for it. Can you send us a copy?
Yeah.
Obviously they said no. But it's a shame, isn't it, that often the best moments for us recruits never make it to live television.
Even down to jumping out of the helicopter, like that didn't get shown, and all the recruits would say the way I come out of that helicopter was like I was part of the SAS. like I really done it well, but I was thinking, I need that to be shown, but it didn't get shown. So due to like the wind and the weather conditions, but
okay. What a shame! What a shame. So, mate, what a life story. I mean, you've come through a lot, and you're out the other side now running a successful business. What's the plans for the future?
Well, the plan is to I want to get into the property stuff, stuff like that. Obviously, continue to build my brand. Like you said, after we speak, you might have opportunities I want to talk to the youth and the ex-prisoners and the current prisoners, just to let them know that like there is end, there is a finish line. Like you can go through what you've been through and change and come out the other end and really push and build your character, build your brand, build yourself. I'm just gonna keep pushing, man. And wherever it takes me, I'm just gonna grasp it and just give thanks and praise God all the time.
Yeah. I hear you, mate. Similar mindset to myself. I believe a higher power has played a part in all of this, and I think you're doing it already. You're inspiring people already just by being on social media and going on SAS and doing this podcast and doing your own podcast. It's inspiring for a lot of people.
Like I would say I'm content. Like, well, I'm not content, but I'm happy. Like, it's a big change from what was going on before. Like a mega change. So like, I'm over the moon where I am now. Obviously, you can always push harder and always push for more. But in terms of like happiness, I'm ecstatic where I am now.
That's great, mate. So if people want to find you on social media or they want to listen to your podcast, which you got some good stuff on there, where can they check you out?
You can check me out on my podcast, DMD Podcast. We're across the book. We're on Spotify, iTunes. We do visuals as well on the YouTube. Finding me, North London Power, on the Instagram. Big Rome's 1 on the Twitter. My website, www.nlpowerfitness.com. And
Nice. So anyone in North London looking to get in shape, hit Jerome up.
I got you.
Hit Jerome up. So thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. And thanks to anyone who's tuned in today. It's been another great episode. I think Jerome shows us all, change is possible. You can, go to prison at a young age, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't define the life that you're going to have. You can come out, turn your life around and inspire others to do the same. So if you enjoyed today's episode, leave us a like or a rating and hit us up on social media. Let us know what you thought. Thanks for tuning in.